my dreams. Today I'm going to share something different which is not related to me, and it's usually I don't do it, but I have the permission with my amazing friend who is ready to talk on this on my channel. I'm very proud of that. So everyone knows that this month is all about breast cancer awareness. So I have one of my friend who recently got diagnosed with breast cancer, and now she's a survivor. So I'm very happy that she is ready to talk on my channel with you all. And if you have any comments, please let me know on the comment section. Without further ado, let's start the video. Hi Sopha, how are you?
I'm good, Divya. How are you?
I'm good. Do you want to tell about yourself a little bit for our audience?
Sure. Just like you and everyone else, I wear multiple hats. So I'm a mom first of two children. I'm also a sister, a daughter, a wife, in that order. And then I am also a technology professional. And I also am a business owner. So I have a little silver shop that sort of speaks to my passion for silver jewelry. And I think for this type of audience and the intention of this interview, I should also add that I'm a cancer survivor. It's not necessarily on my resume always, but it's something I think I decided to add for this interview.
That is really very nice. We are very happy to hear that you are here to share this wonderful awareness with us. And I'm here having a bunch of questions for you. So are you ready for that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How do you feel right now being on the camera?
Well, it's fun.
It is.
You make it so much easier.
Oh, thank you so much. That is really very nice. So let's see. How did you find out about breast cancer?
So I think through self-examination, I would say. So my background is a little bit in this area. So I did do my study research type of thing in cancer. So I was a little bit aware of it. Incidentally, my friend was diagnosed with cancer a year ago, before mine was. And I was speaking to her. I asked her the same question: how do you know? Like, all women have breasts. So how do you tell when you have a breast cancer? So she had, she said it was a routine mammogram is how they found out that she didn't have any sort of, she couldn't find it herself before. So then I decided, but I, had this nagging feeling in my head was something was wrong because my periods were very erratic. I initially dismissed that as being perimenopause, but I was only 38, 39. Close to that. So it's been going on for 3-4 years at that time. So it was too early for menopause according to my doctor. And then something weird happened is, on my left side, I felt like something was pulling all the time inside my breast. I physically could not locate anything inside my breast, but when I tried to follow the path of where the pull was, I ended up finding this really hard sort of stone-like structure inside my breast. And so I felt it. I felt like it was rounded. I would describe it like a pea in a pea pot. So if you were to touch a frozen peas inside a pea pot, what it would look like, that's how it felt to me. So then I got a mammogram, and then it was confirmed that it was breast cancer.
Wow. It is kind of touchy, and it gives us a goosebumps anytime you hear about that. And I'm very proud that you are very comfortable talking about it. So thank you so much. And so here comes my next question. What treatment did you get after the diagnosis?
So soon after diagnosis, there are 3 major treatment routes. One is surgery, 2 is chemotherapy, and 3 is radiation.
Okay.
So depending on age, tumor stage, and invasiveness of the tumor, which would refer to stage also, you could go into you could start with one of the 3 routes. So for me, it was determined. So I was stage 2, and they decided that they would immediately take it out through surgery, because I also had the most aggressive form of cancer. So they wanted to take that out as soon as possible.
Okay.
So I went surgery first. So I did not have a double mastectomy. So these days, double mastectomy is very rare. They don't recommend it. So you won't lose your breasts if you have cancer. But so I had something called a lumpectomy. So lumpectomy is basically removing or resectioning just the area of the lump.
Okay.
So where the lump is, they remove that lump and then they reconstruct the breast to look like it's what it was before. So yeah, I had 2 different lumpectomies because sometimes with the first lumpectomy you find that there's still leftover cancer remaining, so you go through another lumpectomy, so you get 2 surgeries. So after lumpectomy, I went through chemo because anytime they put the knife on your body, there's a risk of loose cancer cells getting into your blood and moving to other parts. So they want to immediately do a chemotherapy. So that's what I had. I had chemotherapy afterwards, and then followed by it, I had radiation. So I had all 3 modes.
Wow. Can you please tell me what is the most aggressive and what is that? So I'm pretty sure a bunch of people won't know about that.
Sure. So in cancer, there are 2 things. When you get up, so the first thing when you go get a mammogram, they will give something called a BI-RADS rating. So BI-RADS, BIRADS. The BI-RADS rating basically says whether it is malignant or suspicious, malignancy suspected, or whether it is not malignant. For most people, when you don't even see your BI-RADS rating because it's not malignant, so there's no need for them to share that information. For me, it was highly suspicious of malignancy, so that was number 5. So there are BI-RADS rating 1 through 5 or 0 through 5, I don't remember. So mine was the highest rating, so it was highly suspicious of malignancy. Malignancy means cancer, so it was highly suspicious of cancer. So then I had a biopsy. So during biopsy, they take a very small portion of the tumor with a needle, and then they do testing to check if it is cancer. So during that process, they will stage your cancer. They will do staging. It's just a number they give because that's how treatments get started. So it's just a number, as whether it's stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. Stage 1 is pretty great. Nothing to worry. You'll survive. You have close to 98% survival rate. At stage 2, you have 85% survival rate. At stage 3, your survival rate may go down a bit. And stage 4, it's only management, depending on how your body reacts, how you react to any treatment they give. You can survive, not survive. Your chance of survival is 50%, but there are chances. So it's still a pretty good odds, I would say, with breast cancer, that if you're a stage 4 means it's spread all over the body. So that's one number, and the second number is the grade. Grade means how cancer looking is your cell. So grade, if it's grade 3, that is what mine was. So grade 3 means it's very cancer looking, means it's very aggressive. It's replicating really, so the cancer cells are dividing really fast to spread itself. So in a matter of a month or 2 could have made a big difference for me in terms of cancer spreading. So I caught it at the right time. So those are the 2 numbers. So if you looking into or understanding a little more about it, stage and grade are the 2 things you may want to understand.
Stage and grade.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you again. I would definitely say this is very hard to accept this kind of stuff. And yes, and I cannot believe how did you went through all this, but you're still very happy to talk about it, which is amazing. We all should learn it actually.
Thank you.
Then next question, how your life changed after the diagnosis?
So the C word is usually is a death sentence in most of our minds. We always think once you get cancer, your next event is death. And that's how I reacted to, despite being in the field. I still, the reason I think cancer is still a big problem, big diagnosis, and big problem health-wise is because there is the possibility that it can become invasive cancer at any time. They call that metastasis. Metastasis basically means spreading. So cancer can spread anytime. And then research has shown that however small your cancer is, the tumors can spread. So cancer can spread even if your staging is 1 or 2. So there is a risk of that always. So how did my life change from going from I'm going to die to I'm going to live a long time? So once I found out and learned a little bit more and educated myself and about the chances of life, I decided to turn it around. So the reason one gets cancer is because it's a multifactorial disease. So it happens because of a number of reasons. It's because of lifestyle, environment, what you eat, and basically genetics too, right? So in my family, I don't have a history of breast cancer. There have been cancer deaths on both my mom's side and dad's side, but there is no definitive cause to say that I will get cancer. I do have two sisters, older and younger, and they're both fine. My parents are perfectly fine, so there is no cancer there. So obviously genetics was ruled out for me. It came down to lifestyle, what I am eating, activity, and things like that. So I did change quite a bit of all of that. So the biggest change I made, I would say, is understanding what causes allergy in my body. I've always lived with allergies all my life, and any small form of allergy is also an insult on your immune system, which means there's constant inflammation in your system, and that's not good. So you have to identify the sources of that allergy. So for me, it turns out that I was allergic to gluten. I never even knew all my life. I wasn't severely allergic to gluten to die, but I had enough of an allergy to gluten to cause allergic reactions such as rashes, eczema. Like I've always been dealing with that all through my life. So that's something I cut out from my diet, and miraculously all the skin issues went away. Two is increasing amount of water. When I moved from India to the US, predominantly it was a colder climate. I lived in AC environments. So I never felt the thirst, the need to drink water. So my water intake dropped really, really down. I would go a day without water sometimes, just eating regular foods. Of course, coffee and inherently water-rich foods like fruits, vegetables was all part of my diet. But I wasn't intentionally taking regular drinking water. So that's something I changed. I started drinking half my body weight of water. So for example, if you're 100 pounds, you have to drink at least 50 ounces of water. So I currently do that now, but I did not do that before cancer. So I think, so the reason you have to drink more water is to allow your blood circulation to flow. So your blood can circulate because there is a heart that pumps blood. So it forcibly pushes blood through your arteries. But there's also something called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system carries the immune cells that need to kill all the cancer cells. But the lymphatic system does not have a pump of its own to move. So in order for that to move, you either increase water volume in your body, which is by intaking water, or you move. Or you do a combination of both, because I think that's ideal, is you do a combination of both. So that's something so those are the major changes I brought about, is food. I basically cut out gluten. I also stopped dairy, just because, my cancer grows because of estrogen. So because with the milk in the US, there is a chance because the cows are being given estrogen hormone, so I decided to quit dairy. But none of these were doctor recommended. I did it by myself. So basically a vegan diet, increased water intake, increase in activity. So those three are the major changes that I did.
Wow, that's good to know. So how did this is out of this, like, how did your kids and your husband reacted when you told about them that you have diagnosed with the cancer?
So I've always been an independent woman. Both my husband and I travel a lot. So the day of my mammogram, even though I knew that the nodule could be cancer, I still took the courage to say, if it is, I'll deal with it when it comes. But my husband was in Detroit, and I was at the mammogram clinic, and when it came out positive, even though I went prepared for it, there's nothing that prepares you enough. I cried loudly. Like everybody in the room around me could hear it. I was short, it was totally embarrassing. But at that moment I did not care, because that was a big, huge diagnosis, and I thought I was going to die tomorrow. So I called my husband. I cried over the phone, and he said, "I'm taking the flight right now." And he came home that same night, very late in the night. So my daughter, who at that time she was in high school, so she was like, "What's going on, Dad? You just left yesterday on Monday. You came back Monday night. What's going on?" And then by Tuesday, she was a smart kid. She knew what was going on because we went back for biopsy and she tracked us on Life 360. And she found that Mom and Dad were at the hospital for more than a few hours.
Yeah.
So she came back and then on her way back when my husband picked her up from school, she asked him what was going on and my husband broke down. And she knew then that it was a diagnosis, bad diagnosis. She didn't know what it was. I'm sure, in anybody's mind, a bad diagnosis is a cancer diagnosis.
Yes.
And then once she came home, I told our kids, our kids were shocked. They both cried a lot. And they were extremely nice to me.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was hard. It was very, very hard disclosing it to the kids. And because even with the biopsy date, you didn't know whether you were going to live or not. We didn't know what stage it was, whether it has spread. What's going to be the treatment? Will I live long enough? We didn't know answers to many of these questions. So I couldn't address all those questions with my kids also. The only thing I said was, if something were to happen, we'll make sure that you're taken care of.
So, oh my goodness. That is, sorry if I have made you a little bit of emotional, but I just wanted to know how does it, because as a mom, I can also understand the things. Okay, let's Is there anything you want to share with our audience? If you want to take a few minutes, I totally understand, Shobha. No, if you want to take a few minutes, and we are good actually. I'm pretty sure everyone is watching us, and this is very, very great information coming out of you. And she's my friend, and we have recently played cricket, and I cannot believe that when she said she's a cancer survivor, I was shocked to hear that, and that's the day I have decided that I want to do the interview with you.
Very sweet. Thank you.
Do you want to share any health tips for our audience?
Sure. I would say definitely have your yearly mammograms.
Yes.
So my doctor, when I initially went and told her that I had I'm finding a lump inside, she tested me, she felt me, and she said, "I don't see anything. I don't think you need to worry about. You're a vegetarian, you work out, you are not obese or overweight." She said everything's okay. There's no risk factor, and genetically also no risk factor. But turns out that it was not the case. I had cancer. So do not believe, if your gut says something is wrong, believe the gut, because your gut is always right. So I initially dismissed. I said okay, and I went home. A week later, the pulling and tugging inside my breast continued, and I was super uncomfortable. So I decided to just call my doctor and I say, if it's not a problem, I really would like to get a mammogram. And I said I also want an ultrasound to make sure, rule out any cancer. And she said okay, and she unwillingly put me up for it. So that's one thing I would say is definitely trust your gut. Ask for a mammogram. And an ultrasound if you feel pain, persistent pain. Sometimes pain goes, but pain comes again. And if it's at the same place all the time, it doesn't hurt to get it tested. It's peace of mind for you, and also for the health system, the providers, the insurance companies, etc., who are all stakeholders in this process. The earlier you find, the better your prognosis and better spending for them too. So it's in everybody's benefit for you to get it tested. Especially during the perimenopause stage, where you're going from regular person into the menopause, there's a lot of changes and hormonal changes in your body. Things could go wrong. So be open-minded. Don't be scared. Get your test done. So that's the number one takeaway. I don't think as Indians we insist or fight enough for ourselves with our physicians. We always think that they know better and that America is so great, they will catch it early. But you have to know that your health is in your hands. So that much I've learned so far. So that absolutely I will say, be your own advocate. Two is, it's never too soon to make healthy lifestyle changes. increase water intake, sleep well. It's kind of hard when you have the iPad on your hand in the night and you keep watching the shows. They could be on auto run.
Yes.
It's really hard, but set a time limit and go to bed. You need to have at least quality sleep, whether it's 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Definitely get those. Drink water, lots of water. I would say, you know, if you, I would even say skip a meal, drink water.
Yeah, that's good.
Solid food is not as important as liquid, as water. Of course, you don't want to be malnutritioned, but you know, drink, because in the US, I think there is more food at your disposal, more so than not. You shouldn't be worrying about, you know, eating too much food. Try to add raw foods. I try to add a lot more salads to my meal these days, so that's important. Fresh fruits and vegetables, always choose those. And that's an exercise. 30 minutes a day may be hard, but that's something I've tried to do, is 30 minutes a day, every day. And I know Divya is a super duper health coach.
Thank you. I have to. I want to become a health coach thanks to you, all of my friends and my great colleagues, I would say now, that they are requesting me to get into the health coach. So hopefully in the future I will. Let's cross my fingers for that. And anything else do you want to share about? Let's come out of the breast cancer. I know this is actually a great month. I would say it's a breast cancer awareness month.
Correct.
Which I didn't knew, but I'm so lucky that I came to know about it, and she was ready to give the interview with all of you. So I was like, why not? Let's just go for it and get some more information about it.
Very good.
Yeah, like, you want to share something?
Sure, if it's for Antarang, so
yes,
I do have a...
Oh yes, we forgot about that in this whole thing, that she is also a business owner. She owns a jewelry business. Now I'll head over to her and she will tell us the whole thing.
Yeah, so I do have a small home-based business. It's called Antarang Silver. So I do have a Facebook page as well as an Instagram page. I wasn't very dedicated to it initially, but now I think it's picking up a little bit. So I love silver jewelry personally. What I'm wearing is Antarang Silver. So I
love it actually. It's simple, but it's cute.
Yeah, I do have quite, you know, simple to heavy. So yeah, check out my webpage on Facebook and Instagram, and send me a request if you have.
I am going to tag her business and her page on my Instagram as well as on YouTube. This is going to be on my channel as well. If you have missed the live interview on Instagram, do visit on my Instagram TV to check it out, what Shobha has shared with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I'll go head over to her jewelry shopping little bit. So I hope you have enjoyed it, my friends. I'm going to end this video, and you can also check it out later on my Instagram TV. So that was the interview with my friend Shobha. I just came home, it was raining outside, so the location has been changed and my outfit is changed. The interview went very well. I hope you have enjoyed it. You know, if you want to see more of these on Mom with Dreams channel, I am ready to find people like this and who can share their stories with me, so I can share that stories with you. What are you waiting for? Join with the team of Mom with Dreams. Subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell to get notified as soon as my video gets uploaded. And like, comment and share with your friends and families. Have a wonderful week. Bye. Namaste.